if you load up Zealot, then High Templar, then Hydra, then Dark Templar, you will see that the order from left to right is always the order in which you loaded the unit. And then if you carpet drop by moving the shuttle, press U for the unload button and then click on top of the shuttle, it also unloaded in the order of left to right of these units. So it's gonna do Zealot, Templar, Hydra, and then DT. When we carpet drop, move the shuttle, U, left click on top of the shuttle, Zealot, Templar, Hydra, DT. So if you want a storm drop, I recommend doing Zealot, Templar, Templar, or Zealot, Templar, Zealot, High Templar. Then you drop. Put on the cheat code, The Gathering, just to practice. Or you could do Zealot, Templar, Templar, Zealot. And then carpet drop. Once you get shuttle speed, to sync up the shuttle and the Corsair, put the Corsair like one tile in between the Corsair and the shuttle, and then they'll sync up. This is because the Corsair has a slightly faster acceleration time than a shuttle. You see how they're one tile apart? So if you do one tile between Corsair behind the shuttle, they'll sync up. So if I'm setting up a drop, say I want to drop 1 o'clock, I'll go like this. They're both going here, and then I'll click the Corsair and then click one tile below. And then they'll sync up. Drop the Zealot, carpet drop. The old way is you do High Templar on control 5 and then your second one on control 6. So you could 5T, 6T. But if the turn rate is like 24 or 20, then you don't really need to hotkey. So let's drop white. Sync up. When you're storm dropping a Zerg on fastest map, you could click on top of the hatchery. This is because the hatchery is like a couple pixels smaller than a command center and a nexus. So the drones will be inside the hatchery. So if you press storm on top of the hatchery, it'll still kill the drones. But when you're dropping a command center or a nexus for Terran and Protoss, if you click the nexus, since it's like a couple pixels bigger, it won't get the workers. So for when you're dropping Terran and Protoss, you need to actually click the mineral. A Protoss probe and a Zerg drone, since Storm is a 3x3 spell, it casts a Storm in a 3x3 area. If the drone and the probe, they walk through the 3x3 area, they won't make it out to the other side alive. So if you catch people trying to dodge, let's say they're trying to dodge this way, if you cast the storm here while the probe is trying to run through, the probe won't survive. So you see them dodging this way, you put a storm there, they'll die before they run through the storm. Same thing with the drone. But a SEV is different. A SEV has more life, so it'll run through a storm. So when you're trying to catch a Terran player that is trying to storm, trying to dodge storm, you need to put 2 storms. So Terran is a lot harder to storm drop than Protoss or Zerg. You will notice that a Corsair has a attack button while the shuttle does not have an attack. This means that if you fly through these Hydras, they're gonna prioritize attacking the Corsair first before the shuttle. So what you want to do is let's go Zealot, Templar, Templar, Zealot. And then let's drop from here. So when you're gonna drop, you wanna put the shuttle 1 tile ahead of the Corsair, so that when the Corsair accelerates, they'll be synced up. You see how they're synced up? And you see how the Hydras, by default, they targeted the Corsair. So the Corsair will distract the units since it has an attack command, so that the shuttle could get the drop off. And since the shuttle doesn't have an attack command, it's lower on the priority. The same thing about attack priority applies to the Zealot and the Templar. These Sunkens, by default, if they see both of these units, they're gonna attack the Zealot first, because the Zealot has a attack command and the Templar does not have an attack command. If you drop these Hydras and Sunkens, they're gonna target the Zealot first by default. So you want to load Zealot, Templar, Templar, Zealot, so that this first Zealot could tank and distract for your Templar to shoot the storm. So let's drop from this angle.
力になろうか。
Put the Corsair so that one tile is in between the shuttle and the Corsair.
準備はできている。
Then carpet drop.